Welcome to
No fucking filter.
It'll be fun.
This episode is sponsored by Together We Co.
Together We Co. is a business management and virtual assistant service for photographers started by photographers.
They offer monthly subscriptions and standalone services including post-production, blogging, admin, image curation, website updates, and so much more.
We are happy to offer our listeners 20% off your first service by entering code 20%.
You can follow them on Instagram at togetherwe_co, and you can visit their website at www.togetherweco.com and enter code 20%.
Just to confirm, that's 20%?
20%, Lisa.
Sign me up. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to the NFF podcast, everyone.
Yes, today we have something a little different for you guys.
Happy Halloween!
Ooh. Today's a scary episode. You guys are going to be hearing this on Halloween.
Yeah, this is our bonus episode to everyone. We have some really scary stories to share.
Terrifying. If
Horror.
you're scared, you should turn off your phone.
Amazing. Well, cheers. How are you?
Oof. Cheers.
It's a scary one out there right now.
That's a scary question. I'm doing okay. Do you want to hear something really scary?
Yes, I do.
I have 25 sessions to edit.
That is horrifying.
Horrific, yeah. How are you doing?
I'm all right too. Surviving, trying to survive.
Yeah.
Quite a few sessions to be editing.
Yeah.
And it hasn't slowed down yet.
No, I think everyone in the industry is feeling it right now. This is kind of the most stressful and scary time of year. But you know what? It's not going to last forever.
No.
We're going to get through this.
Mm-hmm.
And soon we'll be complaining about how we're not busy enough.
Soon we'll be playing Christmas music and it'll be very different vibes.
True. Okay, well, are you ready to be terrified?
I'm ready.
I have actually a few ghost stories.
Ooh, okay, let's start off with that. I love it.
Okay, well, I feel like everyone's probably heard this legend, but if you haven't, there is a ghost bride that haunts the halls at the Banff Springs Hotel.
Okay, right.
Mm-hmm.
We have a few people that this is like,
Yeah.
they've taken pictures on the, is it the
It's the stairway.
stairway? Is it the front
I don't know
stairway?
which one. The legend is that her wedding dress was so big and elaborate that she fell down the stairs and she died.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
spooky.
Yeah,
And when people take photos there, she shows up in the photos.
I've heard. Or
Which is
cameras like
insane.
glitch out.
Yeah,
Stuff
like there'll be like
happens.
a little blob in the corner of the photo whenever they take pictures on the stairway. It's so
Mhm.
creepy.
There's also something else crazy that is rumored to have happened at the Banff Springs. A man killed his whole family.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
And
my God.
that room is now like non-existent. And I've actually seen it. If you walk down the hallway, there's just like a missing door. Like they boarded up that room and
What?
sealed it off
Oh
forever.
my God, I just actually got shivers. Like that's
Whoa.
that's so creepy. I get shivers after every horror story.
Yeah.
Like scary story though. So
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
There's also a
wild.
legend that at Dean House it's haunted in the upstairs library room. There's a big stain that looks like a blood stain on the floor, and they'll clean it and it will be gone, or they've like painted it and it's gone, and then it comes back.
What the fuck?
Mhm.
That's actually so creepy.
Yeah.
I don't want to shoot at any of these places. If you have your wedding there, I don't know. I wonder if like there's brides out there that are kind of like into this kind of spooky horror stuff, and
Maybe.
they've booked that depending on that. You know?
Maybe.
Oh, we actually had someone share with us about something going on at the old Rodney's, which is now
Why can't Fortuna's Row?
Fortuna's Row.
Which
And
honestly sounds a little scary to
it
me.
does.
Yeah.
It's got some spooky vibes in there for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, what happened?
I think it was right after the wedding. One of the people that worked there, I think the organizer or whatever, she comes out and she starts lighting incense to or to sage the area.
Oh
and
my
the
gosh.
photographer's like, why are you doing this? And she's like, it's haunted here. It's to like keep the spirits away. I'm like,
Wow.
it's wild.
Okay. Well, hopefully that wasn't during the wedding.
I wonder, like, for someone to have to do that, I wonder what type of stories they've encountered, you know?
I don't know.
Spooky.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
Have I?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I don't think I have. Have you?
Well, we didn't pre-plan this, but I'll tell you this ghost story. When I was a baby, I was 6 months old, and my great-grandma hadn't driven for a long time. She was really old, but we lived like slightly out of town, so she was excited because there was a new baby, and she got her driver's license.
What?
And when she was coming to see me, she
No.
died in a car accident. And my mom tells this, are you crying?
Not crying. Oh my god. This is like
my
crazy.
mom tells this story that on the night of her funeral, I was sleeping in my crib, and my mom came in to like, I don't know, tuck me in or whatever. And there was like all the blinds and windows were closed, so should it be dark in there? And there was like
a light. Oh
lights,
my
like,
god. I just got
soft.
shivers again.
She said it wasn't scary. It was like she was like watching over
Oh
me.
my god.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna have shivers this entire episode. What the hell?
Good thing you got your sweatsuit on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I know.
But I feel like I don't know why, but like grandparents, like they're like, I feel like if any type of presence is like really strong, it's that, because
Mhm.
I've heard some like other crazy stories from friends
Mhm.
about something like that happening.
Yeah. Well, we asked all of our listeners
Yeah.
to share some of their really scary stories with us. Some of them
Horror stories?
Yeah, some of them are pretty horrific. So
Yeah.
I hope you guys are ready.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, this one is probably one of our fears as photographers. I think everyone has thought about this and feared this, but one of our listeners wrote, I got all of my gear stolen while I was 100 feet from my car in Fish Creek Park. Like, that is crazy. Okay,
That's terrifying.
is my worst nightmare.
Yeah, that's a real nightmare. And I don't know, probably most people don't know this, but the insurance that most of us use does not cover your gear if it's stolen out of your car.
Yeah,
Just a little
heads up.
PSA.
Yeah.
Go check your insurance, guys.
Yes, make sure that you're
And put an air tag deep in your bag and don't ever leave it in your car.
But it's so crazy because she was
Yeah.
so close, right? Like, people will literally stalk photographers,
Yeah.
or like they know the hot spots. Like, hopefully we're not giving anyone any ideas, but like
Mhm.
like people
Yeah.
can like kind of see that you're a photographer. So just always bringing your gear with you
Yeah.
and making sure not to leave anything, because
So I shouldn't just leave it abandoned in the public field while I'm working like I usually do.
yeah, right. I always do that too.
Well, that is a nightmare.
Yeah, for sure. Here, I'll give you your next one. Ooh. The sound effect.
A couple hired a friend to take their photos. I mean, that's scary enough.
That's scary.
He sent over 3,000 low resolution
Great.
JPEGs
Can't wait to print those.
with no sorting at all. And the watercolor filter was applied.
Oh God, what? I'm so sorry for that couple. That's
Honestly, I'm scared. Like, that's rough.
that is the thing of nightmares.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? You get your photos back and there's the watercolor filter put all over it.
Did you just see that door
Okay,
open?
that's so
It's a
creepy. Thank you, Harvey, for the special effects during this episode. Yeah.
My door just like creakily opened behind
Oh my
us.
God,
If
that's
you're
so
listening,
scary.
it wasn't a ghost. It was just Harvey.
It was just Harvey, but we've paid him handsomely in treats and dog walks for being the stage operator today.
Good job, Harv.
Okay, you're reading these so good, like very scarily. So I'm gonna try my best here. So this one is flowers and cake related. Okay, guys. So a couple transported their cake and flowers from Edmonton to Canmore. That's a bit. Lisa's so scared.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
First of all, so many things can go wrong when you transport things from Edmonton to Canmore or anywhere from anywhere. So the cake and flowers were transported in the planner's vehicle that had a fridge. So cake, flowers in the fridge. But the fridge broke overnight and the flowers started to die. And they slowly went from red to orange to dark brown to black. Ooh. And especially like they go bad really quickly because they're in the fridge, right? And so like they're like if they were outside, maybe it would have been different. But and unfortunately, the cake had fallen in the box. Oh my God. Yeah, nightmare.
Could you imagine how scared that person was when they opened the door in the morning?
That would be so bad.
That's
like,
really bad.
What do you do and tell the couple, like, sorry,
I mean,
all your
maybe
flowers,
it was a Halloween wedding and the black flowers were like kind of a vibe.
I mean, that would be great, but I highly doubt it. Okay, here.
Well, that's very scary. Okay. A friend was trying to build their boudoir catalog, and I agreed to model. I showed up to the shoot, and after the second bathroom break in 30 minutes, I realized how absolutely fucked they were on blow.
Oh my God.
I didn't notice right away because I was so nervous. They were so wrecked, they couldn't even take off their lens cap.
What? That's
shocking.
That's shocking. I'm shocked.
I'm shocked.
So your photographer's fucked up on drugs.
I mean, maybe they were confused. Boudoir doesn't mean it's like an orgy.
They were really setting the scene for everyone.
They sure were.
Oh God.
Well, that's scary for that person that was there.
Let's talk about that for a second because I feel like that was a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know your friend.
And you're
That's
already in a very vulnerable position, like having all your clothes off and trusting this person.
Yeah.
And they're just there to party?
Yeah, like what? But that's the thing. You hire, like, if you don't know a photographer, you could hire a photographer and not know anything about them. You don't know if they're a serial killer, if they're perverted, if they're gonna like make you feel comfortable or extremely uncomfortable. And I think that's a scary situation to be in, especially boudoir, right? Like you go and you're
in a studio alone.
Yeah. Scary
Very
stuff.
Scary. I mean, we do a lot of scary things too.
Yeah, we do.
We meet people we don't know in
the middle of nowhere.
No often cell with service. No cell service. Often very close to dark.
Our jobs are very scary.
Yeah, very scary. Okay, there's one left.
Okay. A planner was preparing for the sparkler exit.
Ooh,
Okay. These can go
scared.
wrong.
I'm triggered by the word sparkler exit.
Triggered. Yeah, this is a bad one because sparkler exits, lots can go wrong with these, but this is something I would have never expected to go wrong.
No.
So with lighting sparklers, it can be quite difficult in most circumstances.
Let's walk through the process.
Yeah.
Say there's 40 people.
You get
you
them
have
all
to light
lined up.
those sparklers within like a couple seconds, or else in the photos, half of them are going to be gone and half will be lit.
Yeah, it's just a nightmare, right?
Yeah.
To try and organize. Also, 40 of these people, most likely 9 times out of 10, have been drinking or intoxicated. So that adds to the
Yeah.
adds to it a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so trying to light them all at once is super difficult. So this planner decided she was going to try and light them all at once in her hand. Like, I mean,
that kind of
honestly,
makes sense.
it does. And I'm like, that sounds like a really
like a
good
smart
idea.
move. Tell us what happened.
It was not. She started lighting them, and all of a sudden, because they're all touching together, they ignite like wildfire. And all she feels is this huge burst of heat rush down the sparklers and onto her hand. And it was like she was outside. She was trying to figure out where to put them. And she ends up dropping them on the concrete. And her hand is blistered and red and has been severely burned by this. And she had to leave and go to the hospital. Like, that's crazy.
That's scary.
That's really scary. So yeah, don't light multiple sparklers.
The moral of this story
crazy.
is sparkler exits belong on Pinterest
dangerous.
and not real.
They're very dangerous.
They're very dangerous.
Avoid at all costs.
Yes.
Brr, brr, brr.
I have a scary fire story, and I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Tell us.
I was shooting a wedding. There were candles all over the table. There was wine on the table. And one of the guests had beautiful long hair, and she leaned over the table to get the wine, and her hair, I literally saw the whole thing, just went and it burnt up probably a foot of her hair.
She had a bob on one side.
She did.
That's so scary.
Yeah.
Open flame.
Yeah.
It's like,
a lot of places don't allow it anymore.
I've seen, we've all seen videos online of bouquets being placed on the table and they're too close to the candle and they burst out in flames. It's like, a bride walking down the aisle with too big of a dress and the aisle is lined with candles.
Whoa.
That is
That's
scary. I'm always like, my heart drops whenever I see that.
Well, our friend Miranda Anderson, we actually just shared a reel of this or something recently, but we asked her what's the craziest thing that ever happened to her at a wedding, and the venue burnt down.
Oh my God,
Mid-wedding.
that's right. I can't even believe that. That is insane.
That's a nightmare. That's like, do you still get married? Is that like the universe telling you, like,
oh my God,
do not get married?
Do you proceed? Jeez.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest statement of like, does anybody have any objections?
Yeah.
The universe, actually.
Yeah. So one of those dead grandparents is trying to tell you something.
Yeah, they're in the venue. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, well, I want to hear if you have any scary stories.
Oh, I do. Actually, this happened last year. We were all working at this wedding, and there was a tripod set up for speeches across the room, and the tripod was up pretty high. We had, if you're a photographer listening, we had a 70 to 200 on there, so you know how bulky and big those lenses are.
That bitch is heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy, it's long. The tripod was brand new, and it collapsed. One of the legs went in, and it was literally just, there was a screw loose, which on a brand new tripod is bizarre to me. So that's a manufacturer issue, right? So now I hear all the photographers running up from their chairs listening to this podcast and going and checking their screws on their tripods, because that is so
And what happened?
frightening.
It fell over.
So it buckled, it fell over. Literally every single one of us saw it happening in slow motion, and we were all trying to get to it. Just, it was so far away. the camera smashes on the ground, but the lens snapped in half, you guys. Like, no joke, like it snapped in half. And if you are watching the YouTube, I will put up a little picture of the lens, because we took a picture of the lens after. It is literally like destroyed. And so,
for context, how much did that lens cost roughly?
it's like a $3,000
Yeah.
lens. So $3,000 down the chute. I think that the photographer, if I remember correctly, he took it into the camera store to see how much it would cost to get fixed, and it was almost like the same price as a brand new lens.
Yeah.
So that was just unfortunately something.
I mean, that's what insurance is for, I guess. But
Yeah.
still, that's really scary.
Yeah. And you're in the middle of shooting a wedding, so like, what do you do right in that moment, right? So we adapted really fast, had to get a new lens on a different camera, set it up real quick, and
we actually had a few people writing their scary story. It was like a lens dying, a camera dying.
Yeah, that's a horror story
can
for
happen.
Photographers.
Yeah.
I feel like there's two sides of the horror for weddings, and it's like all the gear and stuff for photographers, and then oh my gosh, like for brides, like anything and everything could go wrong, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, could you imagine if you forgot your wedding dress or something, or like you're traveling, or you're like, destination weddings, like you could forget anything.
Yeah.
And then you're on the plane like too
I've
little,
had
too
a
late.
lot of brides forget their veil. That's a common one.
That is a common one. Or it just gets
forget their flowers.
Yeah. Crazy.
Actually, I don't know if you were even aware, but at your wedding,
that's right.
there's a tripod set up with the camera on it, and I watched the whole thing. A server walked by and just knocked it right over, and there was a few photographers in attendance, and that sound of the camera hitting the floor, everyone turned around the second we heard that sound.
Our heart dropped. We knew we knew what that sound was.
We knew.
Oh, and my poor photographer photo and video. Oh my
I don't think it was completely ruined, but it was messed up.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So yeah, anything?
Well, that's scary.
Yeah, super scary. Do you have another scary story to share with us?
I do. I showed up the morning of the wedding, entered the getting ready suite for the guys, and the groom turned around and he had a black eye.
Oh my God.
Not a little bruise, not a tiny fading, injury. A full-on swollen black eye.
Brutal on your wedding day.
No one told me. And I was like, hi, what happened to your face?
You're in shock.
He said he got hurt playing hockey like a day or two before.
Oh my God.
So I very strategically had to pose them for the rest of the day to try to hide that black eye.
Oh my God. Yeah, no kidding. Like, what do you do? Like, did they try and put makeup on him or what?
I think a little bit, but I mean, it was bad. It was like swollen.
Yeah, nothing you can do about that.
No.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess injuries is another thing that's like super scary that could happen. Like, you could break your arm or your leg or something and like literally have to go.
I've had a few weddings where like a bridesmaid had a broken leg and had to like wheel herself down.
Oh my God. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's scary.
Crazy.
Tell me your next one.
Okay, this is probably the scariest story I have.
I know this story and I was there when it unfolded.
You witnessed
and
this.
I was scared.
You were scared too.
I was really scared.
Guys, this is my biggest horror story, and this will never happen again because I've learned my lesson. But let's set the scene. I'm editing. The day is wonderful. I'm just busy at work, prepping for my elopement that's the next day when I get a call.
I vividly remember seeing your face as the phone number came up on your phone, and it instantly went white, and you were like, oh my God, do I answer this?
I was petrified. So I answer it, and it's my bride for my elopement that is allegedly the next day. And she asks, "Hey, where are you?" And my heart actually went out my fucking ass. Guys, you have no idea. I was like, "Oh, I'm not actually headed out there until tomorrow. I decided to stay in Calgary. Like, it's a 3-hour drive away for where she's eloping." Oh my God. Actually, it's like bringing back trauma, you guys. Like, I feel
Deep
unwell.
breaths. Deep breaths.
I feel unwell. So 3 hours away. No way that I could just get there in time now. Okay.
It was midday.
It's midday. Let me tell you about this elopement a little bit. They have a helicopter booked already.
Mm-hmm.
We're going up the top of a mountain. They have flowers, makeup, hair, officiant. Okay, so I'm in shock. Like my heart, like I said, dropped out of my ass. It's on the floor. I can't speak. She's like, "My elopement's today," and I said, "No, it's not." That was my first response. I was like, "Oh, what? No, it's tomorrow." Like I started like freaking out. I pulled up her contract. So there was what happened basically is she inquired for the date that I thought it was,
Mm-hmm.
and then it got changed midway, and that's on me, and I take full responsibility for this absolute fuck up, because in Honeybook, when someone inquires,
They put their date in, and then it generates all the contracts.
Yeah, it's supposed to really save our asses. It auto generates and everything. But when you have a conversation with someone and something changes, that's on you to go in and change it.
Mm-hmm.
So human error, I fucked up big time. And I started scrambling, started trying to figure this out. My bride was freaking out. I went into power mode. Lisa, you did as well.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, we are going to figure this out. So I basically am like, can we push things back? That's my immediate thing, because it was quite early. We had lots of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Can we push things back? Do I hop in my car right now and we just push everything back 3 hours? The officiant, unfortunately, could not.
Yeah.
So that was the big underlying factor. We called the helicopter. They were able to move it. Thank God. But the officiant didn't. So they ended up getting married. They had their little ceremony. And I chatted with them. I rebooked their hair and makeup. We rebooked the helicopter to the next day. Thank God they were super understanding. And the day before, like the day that they were getting married, it was very rainy, cloudy. Like the helicopter was even like a little sketched out by going up the mountain. Weather was on my side that day, because the next day was gorgeous. So long story short, I made it up to them tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
I sent them back a chunk of money.
Yeah.
I paid for their hair and makeup to be redone. I also added on a free video for them. I tried my best to like make it up to them, and I think I was so scared showing up. You have no idea. Like the next day, I felt horrible, because
it's
this is
tough
the
to like
worst thing
keep
that
the
I could
vibes
do.
up
Yeah.
after that.
So I definitely wasn't myself, unfortunately. But like they kind of looked at it as everything happens for a reason, and like the helicopter ride was safe. It was gorgeous the next day. They had sunshine. It was warm. We got so many amazing photos. They were so happy with the photos. Everything worked out, but I did try and make it, I went above and beyond, because
Mhm.
like you have to.
You
like
have to.
I let these guys down. Like,
Mhm.
but I strongly think everything does happen for a reason, whether it
Mhm.
was like I wasn't supposed to be on the road that day, or
Mhm.
maybe we weren't supposed to be in the helicopter that day. You
Yeah.
never know, right? But that is
everyone's worst nightmare.
It is my worst nightmare. And
Yeah.
I still have trauma
Yeah.
about it to this day. And that is why I double, triple check dates now
Mm-hmm.
like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I always text like 2 days before and I'm like, so excited to see you. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Being there and witnessing the spiral was, I felt so bad on your behalf, and there's just literally nothing you could do.
No, nothing I could do. Like, if it was in Calgary or something, like different story, but
yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, you survived that nightmare.
Yeah. Ooh.
And it will never happen again.
No, it won't. Yeah, because we learn from our mistakes.
We sure do.
And I recently actually read this quote that really like swung home with me. And it's about making mistakes and the fact that like you're only growing and developing if you make mistakes and like you overcome those. Like if you're like never making a mistake and you're just like kind of like riding this line is very linear, right? Whereas like when you make a mistake, your growth just like
Yeah.
Got to make those
mistakes. Make mistakes.
We do. We're human. And that is my worst mistake. And I feel so ashamed of it. But like, it's only made me more efficient, I guess.
It's time to let the shame go.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry to scare everyone with that one.
I'm scared.
Well, do you have any other scary stories?
I do. I have one more scary story.
Oh, yes.
This one was actually very scary.
Okay.
So to set the scene, I was leaving a wedding in Canmore. The way the venue was, everyone was like upstairs and kind of at the back, and the music was pumping. I think it was my last wedding of the year, so it was in like October, November. It was late at night. It was dark. It was maybe even a little foggy, or I'm just imagining this. I throw my gear on my back, as I do. I'm wearing my Super Puff. Shout out Aritzia.
Yeah.
If you want to sponsor us. Which, if you've ever worn one, is like wearing a freaking duvet on your back. My keys and phone were like buried deep inside there somewhere. I'm walking across the parking lot. There's literally nobody around because everyone's inside partying.
Right.
Like not one person could hear me if I screamed. And I'm walking to my car, and you get that feeling like, someone's there, and I could hear footsteps.
Oh God.
And I'm walking. I'm like, it's fine. Like someone's just outside. Like don't freak yourself out.
Not only do you have so much gear with you, you have
I had probably like $15,000 of gear on my back.
And priceless memories in those photos, like in your cards. You just worked a full wedding. Like that's invaluable.
Well, also I'm a female who is alone outside in the dark.
Yeah.
My keys, as I said, were like buried deep somewhere. I couldn't like start the car. And I was like trying to calm myself down, being like, okay, the true crime is affecting your brain. This is fine. There's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah.
But because I had got there after like the guests had arrived, I parked the far back corner. So there was no other cars near mine.
Oh my gosh, that's so
there was
scary.
no reason for anyone to be out there. And they got closer and closer. And I finally turned around, and it was a guy, and I was like, "Are you following me?" And he was like, no, I'm just getting something from my car." But his car was nowhere.
What the hell?
There was no car. So I still don't know why he was following me, but I was able to dig my phone out and pretended to call someone. There was no service because it was in Canmore.
Oh my God.
And
that's
he stopped following me.
Scary.
It was really scary. I still to this day don't know why he was following me, because there was absolutely zero reason for him to be out there.
That's so creepy and scary. And like that can happen anywhere, anytime. And like us leaving weddings at like late at night, that's
Yeah, I recently actually just second shot for Becky downtown, and we had parked our cars a few blocks away, and it was late at night. She was working a bit longer than I was, and where our cars were and where the venue was just an alleyway separating them. So there was a lot of people around, people that are scary to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, do I Uber? Like, I'd literally be Ubering like around the block. That's silly. Do I just like brave it? But I mean, that's a lot of money on my back. And I was sort of like hesitating, wondering what to do before I got in the elevator. And thankfully the manager came over and was like, oh, do you want someone to walk you out?
Oh my God.
And I was like, actually, I do. And this beautiful, like, man from the kitchen came out. He was probably like 6'7".
Oh my gosh.
And he was so nice.
Like,
and he was like,
thank God.
Hi, I'm Moon. I'm going to walk you to your car.
Oh my God.
And I was
That is
like,
so.
thank you, Moon.
Oh.
And so Moon safely got me to my car and I didn't have to worry about it. But while we were walking, I was kind of taking a look around.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would be fucking terrified right now if I was walking by myself.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, that's really nice. I think venues should actually be implementing that. Like, that is a real thing that, like, especially downtown too, right? Yeah, there's like so many.
Do you ever ask anyone to walk you out?
No, I don't. But I actually was leaving somewhere downtown before, and I did ask an employee to walk me out because as I was going into the store, I had a really strange, scary encounter. So I was like all startled, and no one would walk me out to my car. And I'm like, okay. They're like, yeah, we can't leave the store. I was like, oh, okay, like I get it. And then I was like peering out just to make sure he wasn't like out there. But like, yeah, like I was basically on the pathway and I decided to take the stairs up to where I needed to go. But he thought I was like, didn't want to walk into him or like next to him or something. And he rushes up the stairs and like basically like, I guess I looked at him wrong or something. But I think he was like high on or something. I don't know. But like basically pointed his finger guns at me and was like, I'm fucking kill you. I'll kill you.
Oh my
like,
God.
Just was so scary. And I was like taken aback and just like ran into the store. But like, I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck just happened? Like it's, you never know who's out there. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, so I think that's something that people should implement.
I'm paranoid now. Yeah. I will, it's also, you're taking a risk, like asking someone to walk you out too, right? If it's someone outside smoking, like you don't know what they're into. I'll usually ask like one of the groomsmen that I've been spending the day with or something. A guest that looks trustworthy. That doesn't look murdery. God. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's scary out there for us.
It is scary out there.
It's also, we kind of talked about how scary it is like meeting people, right? Because we don't know.
You actually don't know.
And if it's for a family session or something like that, then we likely have not seen them on FaceTime. Like wedding couples, we know they're real people before we meet them, but other sessions we don't. So is there anything you do to like keep safe?
Oh no, I lived it very dangerously. There's things that we could do to keep safe.
Well, you have people following your location.
Right.
You might not know, but I'm one of them.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Yeah.
Also, I think just like letting people know where we are and who we're meeting, and maybe following this person on Instagram first so you can see they're like a real person.
Yeah. I think, so when you drive into a parking lot, like say you're going to the mountains, you drive into a parking lot and it's empty. My initial thought is like, oh, perfect. It's not going to be very busy. No one's going to be around. But there's also like scary parts of like having no one around because when someone does show up, like, is it them?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know it's them? And then also like anything like bears, accidents, like, and no service. Like it's scary out there. Got to be prepared.
Very scary.
So maybe I need to be rethinking going out to all these places that have no service.
Yeah. I mean, we all do it.
Yeah.
So stay safe, friends.
Yeah, stay safe.
Well, on that dark note, let's lighten the mood.
Yeah.
Should we play a different spooky game?
Yes. It's more on the boo rather than the I do or boo. So
Ooh.
I'm gonna give this. You can start.
Okay,
it
so
off,
how are we going to
maybe.
do this? We're going to
So,
read some scenarios, and you can
Yeah.
tell me how scared you are by
Yeah.
each one.
okay, out of
Okay.
10 or like just like
Yeah, out of 10.
okay.
I feel like they're all going to be 10, but
Yeah.
your card or hard drive corrupts.
That 10. That is so scary. I think we all have that fear.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, what about the bridesmaids all have Apple Watch tabs? Oh god, tan lines. They are scary.
Really scary because it means a lot of extra work for us, or an
Yeah.
awkward conversation with our client saying, we're not going to be fixing that.
No.
I think that's like an 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a scary one.
You get an inquiry that says, we really hate having our photo taken.
Yeah, no. That's scary.
We
that's
get these
a
often.
That's a red flag.
Yeah.
It's no. But you know, a lot of people don't like their photo taken, but it's like, well, that just means it's gonna be a
No
hell
pressure.
of a ride.
No pressure.
Okay. The walls in the getting ready room are painted red and there are no windows. That is the
That's a
scariest.
10.
I think that's
10,
100 out of 10. That's like the worst case scenario.
If you get your gallery back and there's a chunk of the day in black and white, that's probably why.
That's why. We're not letting you get ready in that room. We're taking you out to the front foyer.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
You get to the reception and your name isn't on the seating chart.
Oh no. We're contacting the planner right away. Do we even have a place to sit and eat? Are we
You might
getting
not.
dinner?
You might not.
We might not.
You might not.
We might be sat in a closet somewhere.
This reminds me actually of a scary scenario that happened to us this year that I feel like we need to share. I'm not going
Share.
to out them because we've worked there a lot, but there was some bad vendor behavior. Normally, we would come into a wedding and there's somewhere for us to sit and we'll be served dinner with everyone else. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. This time, the planner gave us each a gift card for $50 and we were like, hey,
right.
$50, okay.
Yeah.
So we went in to order, not from where everyone else was getting the food, but into the
Right.
bar that was attached, and no one wanted to help us.
Yeah. No one wanted to take
No
our
one wanted
order.
to take our order.
And we were kind of in a rush because we have to get
Yeah.
eating and then back to speeches. So
Mhm.
already when people are getting served, we're trying to put in an
Mhm.
order.
And we said, where should we sit? And they were like, oh, we'll just bring everything outside. And we're like, okay. So they brought it outside, but we were unfortunately working because our window of
Yeah.
time had closed. So by the time we got out there, it was ice cold and there were bees all over it.
Yeah.
No one came to help us.
No
And
one
then
cleared those dishes
one did
either
anything.
for like ever.
No one did anything. And then Sophia went inside to pay for our dinner with the gift cards that
Yeah.
we were given.
They put on an auto grat of 20% on top of absolutely everything, and I ended up paying out of pocket. I was like, what the hell? That is scary. Like, I can't
Scary.
believe that, actually. I'm a little upset about that because it's like, you didn't help us. How is
No.
this 20% gratuity
And
going
you know
on?
what? I've always had a lovely experience there, so I
have
don't know
too.
where it went wrong.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone can guess which venue this is.
You want to give them a little hint?
No, that is a hint enough. I think a lot of people have experienced getting gift cards for their meal there.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
that was scary.
yeah.
I'm
Very
still
scary.
you're suffering trauma over that one. I'm suffering trauma over my like cold clubhouse sandwich with a bee on it.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one for the game. You pull up to a house for a newborn session, and you can hear the baby crying from outside.
It's happened. It's
Oh, yeah.
happened.
Oh yeah, you're like, oh god.
10. I just turn around and leave.
You're like, we can reschedule.
Yeah. Newborn sessions can be real terrifying on a few levels. Number one, you're walking into a home. It's usually at someone's home
Yeah.
that you don't know these people, you've never been to.
Oh my God.
You don't know
I
what
didn't
it
even think of
looks
that.
like inside.
True.
You don't know if it's clean. You don't know if there's
light or
anywhere
windows.
aesthetic to take photos. And trust me, I've been to some where there is not. And you just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Babies are unpredictable. You don't know if this baby's going to be screaming the whole time, and it's up to you to try and get good photos.
Yeah.
The parents are exhausted.
Totally.
You don't know how like sensitive they're going to be,
Yeah.
if they're stressed.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's a scary environment.
I'm scared just talking about it. Oh, this could be the scariest one of all. Your couple emails you 2 weeks after their wedding asking, is their gallery almost ready?
No.
I think we're both. This is extra scary because we're in this moment
right now.
Every time I see an email that's like, hey, we're just wondering how you are and when our photos will be ready.
Like, you don't give a
Instant
shit
fear.
about
My
me.
heart stops.
Yeah, that's a 10 out of 10 for me. It's honestly any moment we get that email, it's like heart drops. Even if we're not even close to the deadline, I'm like, it immediately puts this like pressure.
It kind of ruins the day.
It does.
Yeah.
Day
And they always come in the
ruined.
morning. Why do they always come in the morning?
Yeah. Can you send those in the middle of the night? Well, and then we'd get them in the
Can
morning.
you automatically send them to your trash folder? Because I'm not answering.
Don't. Therapy-wise, just write it down, but don't send.
True.
Okay. The groomsmen all rent matching suits,
Okay.
and one is a different color. Dun dun.
Ah.
dun.
This has happened to me.
many times.
Yeah.
This is a commonality. I don't know
Yeah.
why this is happening.
I have a couple ideas.
These companies.
One, it's on the company.
Yeah, it's
Two,
been the same company.
Men, I'm not even going to say it. Men just can't get it together.
I feel like this one's out of their control, though. It's like,
Yeah, but girls would be like going together to get them, or they would be
Right.
sending each other selfies or
yeah,
something.
they'd be sending the
But
photo.
The guys will literally have not even tried. This happened to me this year. A guy didn't even try it on when he picked it up, unzips it that morning to get ready, and it's the wrong size.
If
Like,
you
guys.
haven't unzipped your suit, you go pick the. You're trusting. Holy, you are like.
I don't know if trusting's the right word. I think like
I'm like these companies could easily forget your tie or your couplet or
Yeah.
something in there, and you're like screwed the day of.
So how do we remedy this? Try on your freaking suit
Try
before you take it
on
home.
Your suits. Talk with each other. Send
Yeah.
pictures, or just
Double confirm
Don't-
with the people. Okay, this is the shade, right? Can you check my buddy's name, whatever,
Yeah.
and make sure that he has the
But
same
see,
one?
This is weird. Like, it happened to me too, and they were all renting it from the same place, but he lived in a different place. But they had the same code, and everything should be
Yeah,
universal.
just a complete
Shows
mess
up completely wrong color. I was like, how does that happen? And so I think avoiding going to rent your suits from this
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Do you want to say? You want to out them?
Morris.
It's exactly who I was going to say.
Don't rent your
Yeah.
suit from Morris anymore.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry, Morris.
Sorry.
You can unfollow us.
Yeah. Damn it.
Well, that's scary. That's really scary.
Yeah.
I was scared when I saw it.
Yeah.
And you know what I was most scared of?
Oh, the editing.
The
that
bride
you'd
to
have
find out.
Oh yeah, the bride.
We didn't tell her.
Oh no! Did she notice?
I'm sure it was very obvious, but it wouldn't have helped anything at all to go stress her out before she walked
Right.
down the aisle. So
Totally.
that guy just got a VIP role in every wedding photo because he stands out.
There's actually like also ordering dresses, like bridesmaid dresses. I've heard of that happening. Like you order and you think it's going to be one color, turns out to be such a different shade or color or tone. So you got to be careful.
You really do. Triple check. Okay. The officiant says, and now for the rings. And nobody has them.
No. They've forgotten them. Where the hell are the rings?
Where are those rings? This
That
happens
is
to me
so scary.
often. Well, it used to. Now I see the rings in the morning. I ask to see them. And then I reiterate to the person in charge, usually the best man, that the rings are now his duty. They're on him.
Yeah.
Here's where they are. Don't forget the rings. Don't forget the rings.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Being like a couple and having that happen, that would just be like, ugh. Frick.
Yeah. It
Nothing you
happened
can
at
do.
my uncle's wedding, actually.
Oh, really?
And the best man was such a quick thinker. He realized partway through that he didn't have them, and he took off his own wedding ring. And then when they asked, he gave it to my uncle. So no one even knew.
Oh, that's so nice.
No one knew. Well, they knew, obviously.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Then someone just went and got them after, and we had them for photos. But,
That's too funny.
it happens. As we said, things get forgotten all the
happen.
time. And
Yeah.
that is scary.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one left.
Oh, God, okay.
I don't know. My adrenaline is really going here.
Okay, you turn on your camera.
Okay.
You turn on your camera at your shoot, and there's no memory card.
No.
That's scary.
That's scary.
Especially if you've driven to the shoot.
Yeah.
No memory
That's
card.
real scary.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Die.
There's nothing you can do.
There's
There's
nothing you're going to do.
Get back in your car and
You're like,
head home.
Okay, well, I am an idiot. And
I
I'm
guess
sorry,
you're getting this shoot for free. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Exactly.
Thankfully, that has never happened to me. But it's a fear.
Yeah.
It's especially a fear driving out to the mountains or driving somewhere to a wedding. I'm a freak about this. I do it with my passport too.
Yeah.
My boyfriend makes so much fun of me.
Double, triple.
I have to touch it. It's not good enough for someone to say like, oh yeah, it's there. I see your bag in the back. I'm like, no, I need to touch the bag. I need to see the passport, the memory cards, the batteries, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I'll spin in my mind the whole drive or something.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that was scary.
That was a scary, scary time.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed every moment of it.
Yeah, I think everyone is going to relate to this one.
Oh, yeah. Someone's experienced something along these lines before.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think this has to be an annual thing. So keep an eye out for season 2, spooky.
We
Halloween
love to hear those
episode.
stories. Keep sending them to us.
Yeah, keep sending them to us, and we can share in the next one.
Well, happy Halloween, friends.
Happy Halloween. Stay
Go
safe
follow
out there.
us. Stay safe. And go follow us on Instagram at the NFF Podcast.
Yeah.
Subscribe on Spotify or Apple.
Yeah. And make sure to download those episodes.
And watch us on YouTube.
Yes. Because
Our
we have like a
YouTube-
little setup today.
The viewers on YouTube, that is scary.
Yeah.
We don't have any.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Ooh.
We'd love to talk to you about jpegmini. jpegmini is a powerful image and video optimization tool designed to help you save storage space and reduce costs without sacrificing image quality. Whether you're a photographer, designer, or content creator, jpegmini ensures your images remain stunning while being efficiently compressed. Cut storage and costs, automatically reduce image and 4K video file sizes by up to 80% to save space and lower costs. Maintain high quality, share, print, and save images that look exactly like the originals with no quality loss. Quick and easy, drag and drop images for fast, efficient batch processing with our user-friendly app. Boost productivity. Spend less time managing large files with seamless integration into Photoshop, Lightroom, and Capture One via jpegmini Suite. Visit www.jpegmini.com and use our code NFFPOD20 for 20% off your purchase for the first 50 listeners. Thank you so much for listening and following along. It would mean the world to us if you could subscribe and leave a rating and a review. 5 stars only.
We come out with new episodes every second Thursday. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at the NFF Podcast and on YouTube at No Fucking Filter Podcast.
We would love to hear from you if you have any episode ideas or any crazy stories to tell.
We are always accepting new sponsorships, or if you'd like to be featured on the podcast, feel free to reach out. Bye.